my friends. It's your friendly neighborhood lion here. Today is January 22nd, 2016. Um, it's a Friday. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I had the bright idea. Let's see if the camera will focus. It's snowing. The blizzard is here for 2016 in Virginia. And I had the bright idea to do a Q&A with you guys with the blizzard going on in the background. But my iPhone, I think this is the iPhone 6, the camera is so terrible. This is unacceptable, Apple. It cannot focus with me and the snow in the back. It can only focus on one or the other. See how it does that? Look at this. Unbelievable. Unacceptable. We're in 2016 and look I'm completely dark right now. It can only focus on like one or the other. But I'm just going to do the Q&A anyway. Let's see if it'll focus on me. Hello. Gosh, unbelievable and unacceptable to have this kind of technology making mistakes like this. How can it not see both of us? Unbelievable. Okay, so here we go, guys. I'm just going to get right into it. I apologize if you can't see me, but just look outside and just listen to my voice, I guess. Because I really do want you to watch the snow. Because it's so beautiful out there. It really is. I think they're calling for about 2.5 feet, like 30 inches. Some say 30 inches. Some people are saying 40 inches, like 3 feet. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, but right now it's a couple inches right now. It's probably about, I don't know, 5 inches so far. It's pretty deep already, and it's only going to be snowing for the next couple days. I'm worried that my power's going to go out. I'm not going to have any power, so I just wanted to record this and get this out to you guys. Hopefully I'll be able to upload it. This is actually, I think, the Q&A number 9. So I might upload this before the other one. I have another question and answer already on my phone, but I might upload this now because I just want you guys to see the snow as soon as possible. And then I'll upload the one previously. I don't know how I'm going to do it. We'll see. Alrighty. Let's go. Question. Who is this? Jason Rivero. He says, how do you feel about Oliver Sacks? That's my boy. He passed not too long ago, and I loved all his books. And the documentary he was a part of in 2014, which is called Alive Inside, A Story of Music and Memory. It was great and touching. Hopefully you know of it. It was music experiments done with patients with mental illness like dementia and Alzheimer's. He would play them music. He would play music to the patient that the patient used to love when they were younger. And he could see a change in these people. It's like they were coming back to life. Like it refreshed their memory. And it kicked back in temporarily. So this is actually really cool, guys. I remember hearing about this person, but I remember doing some research in college when I was at university about a professor. I think it was a neuroscientist who had similar experiences. He wouldn't really play music, but he would stimulate certain parts of patients' brains that had dementia. And here's what's so cool, you guys. These patients would remember, they would recall memories from their past so vividly. Like I remember one person said they remember going to a concert, and these people were old, mind you, going to a concert when they were really young, and they remember hearing the notes of certain instruments so vividly right then in the moment. They also, another patient said that they remembered a baseball game and where they sat within the theater when they were younger. And these kind of things happen all the time, and it's really cool to see that there are these neurons that are so deep within the brain that house our memory, specifically the hippocampus. And when these neurons are stimulated to a certain frequency or certain amount of hertz, you can have these flashbacks of memories, and it's so beautiful to really think about. Music, that's one thing I can say that I know about Alzheimer's. My grandmother actually passed away of Alzheimer's last year in 2015. Rest in peace. Music is something that is very important. If you guys have anyone who's suffering from any kind of memory loss or anything of that magnitude, or a debilitating condition, play music for them, especially music that they love and music that they used to listen to. It definitely helps. We're not sure exactly why, but it does something. The frequencies, the vibrations of the tones of the music, they go inside the ear and they stimulate the brain in certain ways where these people can recall things, man. They can recall things from their past. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. Music, I think, holds so many keys. It's a mystery. It really is. And oh, there goes a snowplow, man. Good luck, buddy. I wish you luck. But yeah, so music, it's an amazing thing, and I recommend that everybody listen to music on a daily basis, whether you're healthy or not. You should always be listening to music. I try to. It lifts my spirits immensely. Okay, here we go. What else do we got here? Okay, I have to go up a little bit. Here we go. Okay, I think this is the next question here. Yeah. Okay. Colby Miller. He says two questions. What is my favorite? Oh, I love these. These are great. These are great questions, my friend. What is your favorite all-time meal? Um, and what is the one thing? Okay, what is one thing you daydream about often? For example, when I'm walking around on campus, which is about 20 minutes, I find myself daydreaming about moving to Indianapolis and starting my own business and all that it would entail. So, let's see, is it focusing on me a little bit here? Not really. Okay. My all-time favorite meal. Oof. So this is an Italian dish. I have so many favorite meals, guys. There's so many good foods, so many delicious food out there. But if I had to say this was my favorite meal pretty much of all time, and it probably still is. It's called gnocchis. Basically, all they are is like little pasta. They're little dough balls. That's it. Just little like they look like little circles, little spheres. Um, they take forever to make. You have to hand roll each one. My grandmother makes them. She only makes them a couple times a year because of how long they take hours and hours to make. The only thing I would say maybe is harder than that is lasagna, because lasagna you have to make each individual layer of the lasagna, which my other grandmother would used to make all the time, and she's the one that passed. So those are probably my two if I had to narrow it down. They're both Italian dishes and they're absolutely delicious. They're little. The gnocchis are dough balls with sauce on them, and lasagna, as you guys know, is layers, layers, and layers of pasta with cheese and meat, ground beef in there, which is also delicious. Okay, to get to your second question, what is the one thing that you daydream about often? Like this guy talks about walking around on campus, and I can tell you the same. I can answer the same exact question. Guys, not a day goes by when I don't think about my future wife. Ever since I was a kid, all I've ever wanted was a family. All I've ever wanted was to find the girl of my dreams and to be with her and marry her and to have a family and have children. And it wasn't until I got into college and I started to understand evolutionary psychology and evolutionary biology where I understood that it's all about the genetics, that yeah, we are in some degree programmed to want to find a suitable mate to pass on our genes. But to me, it's even more than that. Like, yeah, okay, I definitely want to pass on my genes and I want to have kids. Um, but there's just something about the unity of a family and the energy that surrounds a real, true, loving family where it's not just about financial gain, where you actually love the person and want to spend time with them and be with them. I'm out whenever I'm out in public or whatever, and I see families together. I see little kids, little girls, little boys with their family and the mother and the father together. It does something inside of me that I cannot explain. And yeah, we can all say it's just about biology and it's just science, but I don't care. You can call it whatever you want. All I know is it gives me a reason to live. So I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that not a single day goes by that I don't think about my future wife and I don't think about finding her. And I search for her in every single thing that I do. So when I was at Virginia Tech, every single day on campus, and this has been going on for my entire life essentially, I will turn every single corner, go around every building, open every single door, look out every single window, look into every single car that passes by, thinking, hoping, and wishing that I'm going to see her and I'm going to find her out of nowhere. That she's just going to show up into my life. And people always say to me, and I'm about almost 25 years old, and they always say, you're so young, don't search for love, love's gonna find you, blah, blah, blah. Like, don't look for it. When you stop looking for it, then it will show up. Man, I cannot disagree with something more than that. I disagree so much when people say that. Like, anything that I've ever wanted or desired, I had to go out and search for it and look for it. Like, I had to do work. I had to do research in order to come to any of these conclusions, to find things, to get good grades, to find friends, to find girlfriends. Like, No, they do not just show up. You have to do work to put yourself in situations where they can then show up. You have to do the work. Like if you're going to go fishing, you're not just going to find a fish on the road. No, you need to put yourself in a situation in the ocean, in the water, in a boat. You need to manipulate your environment to the best of your abilities to find this person. So what do? I don't go to bars. I don't go to these parties and like clubs and stuff like that because that's putting myself in a bad environment in order to find this person that I've been searching for forever. Any person that I find in that kind of situation or that kind of environment is not somebody that I'd want to take home, is not somebody that I'd want to be with. And then it comes down to, I want to be able to look my children in the eyes, look my son and my daughter in the eyes and tell them, this is my wife, this is your mother. She was not going out and partying every weekend and getting drunk. She was not doing these things. She was working just like I was. She was alone just like I was before we met each other. That's what I want to be able to say. So every single day when if I see a girl, I see the back of her head, whatever, I always think like, is this her? And then when she turns around, I can tell you guys within an instant, I know whether or not it is the one, or if it is somebody that I could have something special with. I can tell you this also. No matter what class I ever go into, whenever I was a student, ever since I was in high school, I would walk into the class, and the first thing I would do is look around the room. And it takes me all of 5 seconds. I scan the room, look at every individual female, every single girl there, and I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt whether or not that I could be something with that person. People get so mad at me, especially girls, when I end up telling them this later in life. I'll tell them when I meet them the same thing that I just told you. They get so mad. They say, Matt, you can't just judge somebody like that and you know whether or not they can be something without hearing them talk and being around them. No. You guys, you know what? I can't explain it. But for me, it is the energy that you radiate, the electromagnetic spectrum that just sits on top of everybody's body, that radiates out of you every single day at all times. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it the force, you know. You can just call it frequencies. You can call it an attitude or a vibe, getting good vibes, bad vibes. I can tell whether or not this is somebody that I could have something with within an instant. So every single day, ever since I was a kid, in high school, what was I, 13, 14 years old, up till now, 25. I scan a room, I walk into an area, I look around at the females, at the girls there, and I can tell without a shadow of a doubt, is this a person I would want to pursue? Is this a person I think I could have something with? So every day, that is what I daydream about, finding my wife, finding my future mate to have children with and to have a family with. And I don't think that's ever going to stop. And I've kind of it's not that I made a deal with the universe, but it's almost like the universe has told me without saying it that I have one of two options in this life. Either A, I can, yes, have that family and find that person and build that reality, or B, I can sacrifice that, be alone my entire life, never have a family, never pass on my genetics, but become a scientist, have a career in psychology and become a professor and be successful in that regard. It's kind of like one or the other. Because I know there's a part of me in my heart, guys, that says if I had a family, if I had a wife, I'd give up on everything. I wouldn't want to become a PhD. I wouldn't want to do any of these things. I would just get a normal 9-to-5 job, support my wife, and have my kids, and that would be it. I wouldn't worry about the outside. I wouldn't worry about the rest of the world. I would be selfish. I would just worry about me and my family. But on the other side of that coin, let's say I don't find that wife, I don't have her, I don't have that family, then what else can I focus on? I'm going to focus on the world. I'm going to focus on all these things, being selfless. And it's sad to say that it's kind of like one or the other. And in my heart and in my mind, I would like to believe, no, I would like to believe I can have both. I would like to believe I can have that wife and have that family and still have that career. But more and more, it's seeming like the universe is directing me down one path or the other. And I've been choosing B. I've been choosing to give up the family for a universal type unity, for a unity of the world, of existence, of mankind and life in general. Not only men, but animals as well. I would like to have both, though. I would like to have both. And like I said, I would be lying to you if I told you that every single day I wasn't going out and looking around. Every time I go to the gym, I look around and try to find her. And in my mind, I know exactly what she looks like. I know exactly what she looks like. A lot of people say they don't really know what they want or they don't know what they're looking for. Me, I have it down to dimensions, down to personality traits, down to fine motor movements of how specific and how precise I want this person to be. I've never met another human being, guy or girl, with higher standards than myself, ever in my life. Never. You know what? Before I go on, let me give you an example. Talk about standards. So, can I get in frame for this? Come on. Let's see. I have this car. Come on. Here we go. No, it's not even mine. It's my father's car, but he got it for me when I was 18 years old. It is called a Lancer Evolution. You might know it as the Evo. There was many times, guys, I was looking for this specific car. I was looking for not only the Lancer Evolution, I was looking for the 9th generation, the 9th model. Not only was I looking for the 9th model, I was looking for the MR edition. The MR edition is kind of like the Mustang GT. Like, if you guys know what a Mustang is, there's a Mustang, there's a Mustang GT. Not only was I looking for the Lancer Evolution 9 MR, I was looking for the Special Edition MR, okay? So that's like a Mustang GT, that's like a Cobra, okay? Like a Mustang Cobra. It is the top of the line, absolute best of the best. Not only was I looking for all of that, I was looking for the graphite gray color, okay? And not only was I looking for that, I was looking for the lowest miles possible with the least amount of owners possible. And I searched for years, probably about 2 or 3 years. I searched every single day. I was going on cars.com. I was going on this website, evolutionm.com, where I was searching and looking for this car, doing everything I can to find this vehicle. Not knowing, I knew I could never afford it. I knew it wouldn't be mine. And if anything happened, it would have to be my father, who bought it for himself and let me drive it. But I was searching and searching and searching, you guys. And I found a couple candidates, whatever, a couple cars that I thought were great, but some of them were black. They weren't the color that I wanted. Some of them were blue with higher miles. Some of them had 2 owners, maybe 3 owners. And I always was jumping at the chance, like, yes, this is going to be the one. This is the one. Like, it doesn't have to be everything I said. You know, I'll lower my standards a little bit. But for one reason or another, they never worked out. I never got those cars. One day, out of nowhere, I'll never forget this. I'm doing my search online, and I come across this car listing at an Acura dealership. If you guys know what Acura is just a different car make. It is not Mitsubishi, which makes my car, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. Acura makes like the TLs and things like that. I forget other Acura cars. Oh my gosh, I've been out of the car game for years. But anyway, it's a totally different make, like Toyota and Honda and Ford, Chevy, like totally different makes, right? But it was for an Acura dealership. They said they had a Lancer Evolution at their dealership. And guess what? It was a graphite gray Evo 9 MR Special Edition 6-speed with the red stitching, every single thing that I wanted. Here's the kicker. This car was a 2006, right? This was 2010 when I finally found it online. It had 11,000 miles on it. One owner, 11,000 miles. And if you guys know anything about cars, the average car owner drives about 1,000 miles a month, 12,000 miles per year. What does that mean? 2006, 12, let's see, that's 4 years. This car easily should have had like 48,000 miles on it. If it was driven regularly, if it was a daily driver, it should have had like 48, almost 50,000 miles on it. Any other car would have at that point. But guess what, guys? I went to this Acura dealership and I talked to the salesman, and he was telling me the background of the car. This is how it went down. There was a man who was married, who owned this vehicle, who had a wife. And you know what? He drove it only on the weekends. That's it. He put 11,000 miles on this car, and then what happened? They had 2 kids. You know what the wife made him do? The wife made him sell the car so that they could get an SUV to take care of the kids, to haul the kids around. The guy was so sad. He said he was almost in tears when he came to the dealership. He directly traded the car in for a brand new SUV. He didn't even pay money for it. He literally traded the car, the Evo, in, because the Acura knew how valuable this Evo was. They traded him the car for a brand new SUV, and the guy got an SUV for trading in his Lancer Evolution. And I stumbled upon it. And when I was trying to convince my father to get it, there was a guy who was about to buy it, who was driving the car. It wasn't even in the parking lot when I showed up to test drive it. I went alone, by the way, without even telling my father, just to check out the car to make sure it was exactly what it met all my specifications, right? And the guy was driving, and he was out test driving it, and he was going to buy the car. But he couldn't find a co-signer. He couldn't find someone else to help him finance it. And thank God he couldn't, because then I would have never had that car. I would have never found her. We wouldn't be a thing. I never wanted a single thing ever in my life as bad as I wanted that vehicle. And as the universe lined it up, I found it, and it became mine. You know, I kept thinking it into existence, kept thinking about this car day in and day out, and it's found its way into my life. A single owner with 11,000 miles who treated the car like a baby, completely 100% stock, and she still is today. Now here we are in 2016. It has about 22,000 miles on it. I put about 10,000 miles on it in the course of 6 years. I don't drive her either, okay? I took her out the other day to go see The Revenant because it was snowing, and none of the other cars I have that my family owns can handle the snow at all. So I took her out to go see The Revenant by myself. And that was the last time I drove her. First time I drove her in 2016. It's almost the end of the month, and it was the first time I drove her in the whole month. So the reason I'm telling you guys this story is because I've never loved something, an object, that much, and I search for it every single day, and it met every single standard of mine and exceeded my standards. It found its way into my life because I was searching for it and I was thinking about it day in and day out for years. Here I am, like I said, almost 25 years old, been searching for my wife, been searching for this girl, day in and day out. Never found her. Never have I found her. Still, I've had many girlfriends, you guys. Many. Never have I found the one that I want to be with, though. The one that fit every single standard. And you're going to sit there, I know you're shaking your head, you're going to say, you're never going to find her, Matt. Your standards are too high. How could you ever find that? Well, I just have faith, just like I had faith with this car. Now I guarantee you this is the lowest mileage Lancer Evolution 2006 Evo 9. I guarantee it's the lowest mileage one in the world. There's no question about it. And it's stock. It is perfect. It is a perfect vehicle. If I can find that, if I can find a material to my standards, man, you better believe that there's somebody in these 7.4 billion human beings out there. There's someone out there. 1 out of 7.4 billion has to fit my standards. I know she's out there somewhere, and it just makes me upset that the universe has kept her shielded from me, has kept her out of my grasp. I wanted to be married, you guys, my whole life I wanted to be married by the time I was 25 years old. And that means I wanted to be dating my wife, my future wife, when I was about 23 or 22. I wanted to be dating her for years before we got married to make sure that this is exactly what we wanted. Here I am, 4 or 5 months out from being 25, and I have no candidates, no even inkling of a girl that I think I could marry. I mean, there's maybe one, but still, it makes me very upset that this is the situation that I'm in. And like I said earlier, it's seeming like the universe is pushing me more and more towards the career. It is saying, Matthew, you have to give up on love. You have to give up on your family. And you have to focus on the rest of the world. Because maybe the universe knows what I would do. Maybe it knows that if I got what I wanted, I would forget about the world and I would just have that family. But I would like to think I could do both. I would like to think I could have that wife and those kids and still save the world. Okay, sorry for taking so much time. Let me try to answer like another one. This is too long of a video already, like 25 minutes almost. Alright, let's see. I hope that answers your question, my friend. What do I daydream about? I daydream about my other half every day. No matter what I do, yeah, let me tell you this, another reason why it's so important to me is because no matter what I do in my life, no matter what movie I go see or what beautiful scenery there is, no matter what video game I play, no matter what music I listen to, no matter what food I eat, I can only enjoy what I am doing half as much because I feel like half of my body, half of my soul, my spirit is out there somewhere and it needs to experience it with me together so that when we look at a sunset together, I can point out one part of the sunset and she can point out another thing. I can look at one animal and say this and she will look at that same animal and say something different. Same thing with a food or a movie or music. I feel like everything I do is only half as enjoyable, half as pleasurable, half as meaningful to me as it should be. So no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, when I'm smiling, when I'm laughing, it is only half of me that is doing it. There's another half of me that just isn't here. And I feel empty all day, every day. Wow, what are the odds of this next question? Mr. Bendover says, do you believe we have a soulmate or one person that we are meant to be with for the rest of our lives? Well, man, that's a yes and no. Yes, I do, and no, I don't. Because as somebody comments down below, the governor comments right underneath, he says, splendid question. First, what do you constitute as conditions for someone to be your soulmate? Is it just love? Because we can love several people during our lifetime. And secondly, do you believe in a soulmate? And if you do believe in a soulmate, you must believe in destiny and fate. And that means that we are predestined to achieve what we are supposed to, and we have no bearing on what happens to that destiny. So, like I said, yes and no, I do believe that there is somebody out there for everyone, but I also might believe that there could be more than one person out there for everyone. It's kind of just a matter of how much you coincide, of how much you match with one another. Like 100% match, then there's 99% match, 98 all the way down to 0% match, where you are complete opposites and you don't get along at all. So it's just a matter of how close you really can get. I just believe that some people can get closer than others. That's all. You know what I mean? Okay, this is like 27 minutes. Alright guys, I'm sorry that I only got to answer a couple questions here, but maybe I'll start up another video and I'll do some more. Yeah, I'll probably just do some more here, because I do love the snow and I want to keep it going on in the background. It is beautiful. And I'm running out of daylight here. It's almost 5:30, so I want to do it before the sun goes down. And you can't see the snow, the beautiful snow. Okay, thanks for watching my videos, guys. I appreciate it. Keep commenting down below. Ask your questions. Please keep asking questions to me. I love answering your questions. I want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to have these Q&As going on for as long as I am alive. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I apologize for the lack of lighting here. I'm trying to do natural lighting just like the Revenant, and it's not working because the technology isn't up to par. Apple, you got to step your game up, my friends. This is unbelievable with these cameras. Come on. Alright guys, thanks again for watching. Comment down below. This has been your friendly neighborhood lion. And remember, light up the darkness.